Hi everyone, Jacqueline here. So today we're planting up some more perennials in my front flower bed that I'm working on replacing all the plants that were destroyed by critters. And one of the things we're planting in there today is going to be a number of perennials. And the first one is silver brocade Artemisia. And I'm really excited about this one because it's a perennial that is good for zones 3 through to 8, I believe. It likes good drainage and it is a really nice silvery color. So we're going to plant this along the border to bring some different texture into the border of the garden. And then from there, we're going to move on and do a bunch of other perennials. And then if we get time, we may pot up a container. So let's get started. It's really debatable on the weather because we're supposed to have rain coming in today and tomorrow. So I want to get these in so that they can enjoy the benefits of a nice fresh rain shower. If we look down the bed, you can see where I planted the Artemisia silver bullet perennial. And you can see it automatically gives this bed some color with all the green. So that's the goal, is to vary our textures, to vary our plants, and fill this bed with perennials I can count on to come back year after year that are no fuss. So what I'm meaning is no roses, no foxgloves, hollyhocks in here, yes, along the fence. Shrubs in here to give the backdrop, but colorful shrubs like hydrangeas, and then a variety of lilies and other hardy perennials to make the bed pop, with phlox being one of the big colors in here, and then the lilies. Now, one thing I want to show you that I did plant in here is I planted some bearded irises, and I didn't shoot the video of it. I just quickly put them in because I found some really cool ones at Walmart. So you can see here that I have a few of them in. I think there are 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I put in here. I'm going to show you the colors. And I tried to pair them up with the different plants I have them in here. So for instance, if I have purple salvias here, then I wanted to put an iris here that would complement the purple. So I either contrast with an orange tone, or I take something that's got some purple in it and add to it to draw that color out and to extend the bed back and give it some depth. So that's kind of what I did here with them. And you'll see, we're not going to get any blooms this year off them, and that's fine. The foliage itself is beautiful. And it's raining on me right now, just spitting. But you can see everything I did here. So let me show you the colors of what I put into this bed. And then we're going to go on and do some more planting. These are what I put in. And I spread them out because they will get thick, and I don't buy 3 or 4 of the same plant to put in. I do one of because they will thicken over a period of 3 years. So the first one I put in was blue suede shoes. These were all from Walmart. They're a really good buy. I think they're $9.99 each. So that's decent. Next one I put in was Eden Wolf Ford. Gorgeous color here. None of these are reblooming. Just a heads up, because I do have reblooming in my flower beds. Loop-de-loop. This one I was really excited about. Tour de France. Isn't that gorgeous? And then I've always wanted a white iris, and I got one. Immortality. Isn't that striking? So those are the irises I put in the bed. So I'm really pumped about that. It's the first time this bed is the irises in. I made sure I didn't plant them too deep and everything. I've got a lot of irises, so that shouldn't be a problem. But sometimes you get carried away and you plant too deep. So always check them after I plant them. So now what we are going to do is we are going to divide this yarrow. So I've been wanting white yarrow for a while because I need a strong white in the garden that I can count on to come back. And you've seen this in the video when I went shopping at the grocery store, superstore, and I picked these up because I figure I can get quite a few plants out of them. They're pretty thick, you can see here. And this is new vintage white yarrow. That is the tag. And this is so hardy for areas that are dry. And in most zones, if not all zones, yarrow is a classic of the cottage garden because it's so reliable, comes back year after year, and you can divide it and have lots of plants in various colors. Beautiful colors of the rainbow. But this white one was exciting. I like it that it's not a dirty white. I've had Yarrow before that was a dirty white. I didn't like it. But this one is really clean looking with more of a bit of a hint of a lime green center on it. So that's what I was looking for in a Yarrow. I like the clean look. So let's divide these up now and plant them and see how many I can get out of one pot without totally butchering the flowers. I mean, that's the goal. Firefly Peach. This is a Proven Winners brand. I wanted this because of the color, not so much because of the brand. And this once again is a Yarrow. And I like it because of the peachy yellow shades in there and the bit of orange. My favorite Yarrow all time is Terracotta, which is a really nice orange. This will add some nice color to the bed. The last part of this video, we are going to pot up this container. And I really like this container. It's the same as the large one I have on the front step. And I think it would look beautiful with a variety of grasses and colors in it here on the deck by my back door. So first thing we're going to put into this is our fertilizer. And you can see I've got a plant there that I'm just anxious to put in. But we're going to mix the fertilizer in first, and we're just going to add some Miracle-Gro in here. Doesn't take long to go through a bottle of fertilizer, let me tell you. I'm just about through that one. And I'm just going to mix it in with my hands. And we're going to dig this one in. This is the Princess Caroline Fountain Grass. I like this because of the red and green tones in it. I think it provides a nice texture to put at the back of a container. And we aren't going to center this. We're going to put it at the back because it's going to be against the wall. And it is really root bound. Look at that. So we're just going to tease it out a little bit. And all I'm doing is just putting my finger through it really and breaking it off. And then we'll just bury it in here. Make sure it looks good where we place it. Push it down and make sure there's dirt behind it. You could use that by itself as a statement in a pot. If you didn't want to put a bunch of plants, that plant in itself would be stunning just in this pot alone, because the contrast of the foliage with the dark brown of the pot would look beautiful. But I tend to not be that person that only wants to do one plant in a pot. I like to add a lot. So I think you'll be interested in the one I'm going to add next. Look at this plant and look at the colors. This is actually a house plant. It's a tropical plant is what they call it here. But because it's been sitting in a greenhouse and getting lots of sun, it went from being, pretty much more of a green stripe to having all these vibrant reds in it. So I couldn't resist it and had to pick it up. And I think it'll be beautiful in this arrangement. So I think to contrast the pot, it should go either here on this side, which I think it looks really sharp there, or over here. So that is the debate, is the placement of it with these kind of plants, because two of them would have been great, but they only had one. So this is one that I would consider bringing inside in the fall before it freezes and keeping it as a houseplant because of the brilliant color. Because by the time summer is over, spikes should be on fire with color, don't you think? So I think we're going to put it right here. And I don't know if it's the direction that I'm sitting that makes me think that that's a good spot, but to me it just seems like the place to put it. So let's do that. And we're just going to tease the roots out a bit. They're pretty loose. So, and then we're just going to spin it a little bit. So see the greens in there and the colors in the center. So you can see how the sun is impacting this plant. Now we could sprinkle some fertilizer in the hole when we put these in, but for grasses, I don't think we need to do that. All right, now one thing I want to add is our trailing plant next, because I want to get that in. And this is another Artemisia that I didn't use in the front, and it's had a few cold nights out here because our temperatures have been just silly at night. But now it's finally starting to warm up. So I think if I just pick off a few of these leaves, it'll bounce back. And we'll leave those ones on just for the sake of the video. And I'm going to put this one right in the front here to crawl over the edge. And you can see how gorgeous this is, how it complements the other two colors, especially with the greens and that shade of red. And then we're going to put plants around this. This is kind of almost a plum, I would say a magenta plum arrangement that we're doing here. And we're just going to lean it like that in the pot so that it drapes over. Let's train it now. That looks pretty good there. I'm going to add something funky to the arrangement. And that is a Celosia Dracula. But look at that color. And I see a place for it. And I see that place right there to bring out the leaves, to bring out the stem colors in the grass. These are gorgeous plants, and I don't see them around too much. So I definitely grabbed a couple of these for doing arrangements. I only buy these kind of plants for special container arrangements because I think that's where they belong. So I'm just going to dig that down, push it in, and then backfill. Now that's really coming together, and I think it looks spectacular. So we're going to add another draping plant to the front of this. So what we're going to add now to the front of this is we're going to add a fuchsia. I want to attract the hummingbirds and all the pollinators so that I can watch them when I sit out here and have coffee, or if we have a barbecue or something and have a meal out here. So I think looking at that, it would look either right here to see it or right there. And I'm leaning toward this side again. So we're just going to pop it in down here. And I'm just going to loosen it just a tad. Fuchsias, they do like shade, but they will tolerate some sun. So this area gets morning east sun. So that should be okay. So you can see we have a theme going with our darker colors. Let's make this container pop now. This is one of the Starry Nights series, I believe. Headliner, Enchanted Sky. So this is a fun-loving, full-sun perennial, but look at the color in that. Don't you think that's striking in that arrangement? We can put it on the edge, we can put it in the middle, but it's going to stand out. So I'm leaning toward right over here, or over here, of course. Either place, it doesn't matter. It's going to be gorgeous. And I'm just going to stick the tag in the back for that one, the grasses, because I want to know that if this arrangement turns out to be as gorgeous as I think it's going to be, I might want to repeat it. I like to repeat my combos when I can. So let's pop this one in, and it's going to go right here. It seems to be a better fitting spot for it. And the mosquitoes are out in full force. So we had wind anywhere from 40 to 60 kilometers all day. It started in the middle of the night. I'm not a good sleeper, so I was up. That's why you'll see me respond to your comments at early times in the morning, because I'm not always the best of a sleeper. But It was just brutal. I was hoping it would calm down, and it didn't calm down to, well, it calmed down a little bit now, but it's still not very calm. What do you think of that mix right there? Is that looking good? Now, because we're adding more plum in here, I want to add another deep wave petunia in here to fill this up. Look at that. Isn't that great? It complements the grass. It complements the celosia. Now, because we're looking at another burgundy, I'm going to put it on this side. I wouldn't say burgundy, I guess. I should say magenta. I'm trying to even out the color in this arrangement a bit. All right, so we have a lot of dark, moody colors going. Let's pop up some snapdragons into this mix. Pollinators like snapdragons. And put some there. And we're going to put, and this one I think is going to be a peach. That would be pretty in there. And I think we'll do 3. Let's make it 4. Then I can use up that tray. And we're going to try to space these out a bit. We're going to put one of the lighter colors toward the back. We're going to move the maroon burgundy. This one probably is really truly a burgundy. We're going to bring the peach one forward over here to complement the celosia. And then we're going to bring the lighter color forward to give some depth to the one at the back here, because they'll complement each other. And it's probably more of a yellow, and or could be, this is yellow, I think that might be even white. Okay, and this one's kind of leaning a bit. We'll straighten them out. Okay, we're not done yet. I've just begun filling this container. I have 2 Dusty Millers here that I'm going to put in. Like I said, I'm trying to use up some plants at the same time that need to find a home. Dusty Miller I'm going to stick back here in the corner, just a little guy. And then this one, I'm going to crunch him in probably more in the center actually, just to change things up a bit. There. Starting to look really good. Now we have a lot of pinks, a lot of reds going on. Let's make this pop. So I'm going to add 2 different colored plants in here. So I'm really packing it. I'm going to add my sunset orange in here because it's going to really offset this nice with all the burgundies. This is really one of my go-to plants now, I have to admit. I am in love with this. And we're going to put it right in here. And we're going to lean it forward and make sure it doesn't snapdragon. I'm just going to pick off what I need to pick off there. Gorgeous. You can see the colors getting really deep on it. And then I want to offset that with something fun. You guys might not agree with me on this color choice, but I'm going to use a lime petunia. So this is Pretty Grand Mellow Yellow. But look at that, what it's going to do to this arrangement. I mean, this arrangement's good the way it is, but I think we can make it better. And I need to get these planted. They're getting pretty dry. Yeah, you can see I'm going to have to come through and really water this root ball big time. So I'm just going to pick off anything here. It's not looking good. And I'm going to pound it right in here. I don't know why I use the word pound. I'm going to plant it right in there. I really like a lime petunia in the mix. I think it gives it some great color. I love the way that contrasts against the Artemisia. And that's it. Here is another arrangement done. I think it's very striking. You can see that the foliage of the houseplant is really standing out in that mix. And of course the enchanted sky petunia. Those colors are just a poppin'. I think this is gorgeous. I seem to be on a trend with where I'm going with my colors this year. I spiced up a bit with the lime in here and like with the grasses and that, but I think it's going to be gorgeous. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying the colors that I'm using in my arrangements. I will be changing them up here and there, but I just want to share with you some of the plants that I'm using and how I'm doing my contrasting and textures. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Bye.